Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. It's yours truly, Ozell Graham, the 80s Hair and Skincare brand ambassador. And I am here tonight with two, when I tell you, two great guys that have a story to tell. Their story is not like a lot of people, but some people will be able to relate. This story is about growing up in Southeast Missouri, also known as the Bootheel. And the Bootheel is not really a big place. See, a lot of y'all don't really know where I'm from. Y'all don't know. A lot of y'all don't really know where I'm from. Y'all don't know. You know, you're thinking from Arkansas, maybe from Germany, Detroit. Well, I was born in Detroit. In 86, I moved to Southeast Missouri, a town called Marston, Missouri. And when I moved to Marston, Missouri at the age of 12 years old, there was this little fathead kid that stayed on the corner. Now, on that side of town, there was no other black families. My grandmother was the only black family on that side of town. But once you cross the railroad tracks, then that's where, my other friends and stuff was, Jeffrey, Kevin Davis, all them guys right there. But this guy right here, name is Rowdy. And when I tell you, we go way back. And I am so proud of Rowdy at this moment because he have overcome some very steep obstacles in his life. But without further ado, I want y'all to put y'all hands together, show a lot of love, give me some hearts, give me some hearts, give me some hearts, while we bring Mr. Danny Rowdy Sweatt to the forum. He's new to this TikTok stuff and all of this technology. So he had to go recruit two bald head cats. What up, Rowdy?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
Hey man, how you doing, bro? I'm representing Addie's products there, man. My boy.
Well, I appreciate the love, Rowdy. Well, man,
Yeah.
tonight is a big night for me, man, and I hope it's a big night for you because you get to tell the world who Rowdy is and what Rowdy's been through. I was telling him growing up in the Bootheel, man. What's your description of the Bootheel?
Man. It's definitely country, but let me tell you something, man. As far as things to do, it's nothing to do. We played a little bit of baseball when we was kids and stuff like that, man. But mainly a lot of getting into things we didn't need to get into, and like when me and you grew up together, man. You went a certain way, I went a certain way. You never got into any of that. I went the other way. I wish I hadn't, but the Lord had to put me through all that to get to where I'm at because He knew I wouldn't get it no other way. And I've spent the last 35 years or better doing what I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And I luckily, and with the grace of God, made it through all that mess, man. And with the grace of God, I've come up out of it.
Yeah.
And I want to share the message tonight about how Jesus Christ has saved me, man. It's nothing short of a miracle. It's nothing short of a miracle. So many of my friends are dead. So many. I can't count them. It's sad. I just know that somewhere, someplace there around where I'm from, and many parents who don't know what their kids is doing can maybe learn from this about what the signs are. I hear a lot of people talking about ADHD or their kids is doing this. It may not be. Little Sally may not may not have no ADHD. She might be hitting that thing under the bed. You know what I mean? And it's funny, but it's not. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
this is deadly, man. And now people are putting fentanyl in this stuff, man, to kill you with one. It's so deadly.
Okay.
So deadly. I mean, that's why it's serious to me about my sobriety, because I could go and I'm just one hit or one shot of dope from we don't know what's in it, man. And so many people are addicted to this stuff and don't know, you know.
Right.
I hope that if I can just get to one person tonight, maybe it's all worth it, you know. And I found a way out, and it's Jesus Christ, man.
Right. So, Rowdy, let's go back to the 16-year-old Rowdy.
Yeah.
You know, when you first got your driver's license and stuff like that. You know, I remember. You know, you
don't start, man.
Rosalie and
I did take you somewhere, man. Surely I did. Don't say I didn't.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. You act a little funny when you got your little car, but you know, Rosalie and Danny, you know, they bought you your that red burgundy Sunbird.
Pontiac Sunfire.
Pontiac Sunbird. Whatever it was. All right, so tell me about the 16-year-old Rowdy. What, you know, when Spunky, you know, couldn't go or couldn't hang out, what was Rowdy doing?
Well, actually, let's back up a little bit before I got 16. I was probably right at 15 years old when I remember there at Marston, had some friends of mine, Sean Wheeler.
Don't give them their names, because people get names.
Well, I'm just saying that this is nothing that's going to be that bad. I mean, but it's just we were just drinking beer.
Okay.
But my buddy, we had all got together and we had got and then we got like 340 ounces of beer, and we went out in the country and we drank them, you know, and I remember I was punching glass in the windshield on this old vehicle. I don't know whose vehicle it was, but that's kind of where it started, you know, just unruly stuff, you know, just a little bit of alcohol. Then next thing you know, some stuff led to, I'm not gonna say no names after that, but like just other things led to like marijuana. I started smoking grass before I was even 16. And I was experimenting with that, you know, and at first that's about all I did. And then that led to Xanaxes and taking pills. And White Crosses, them those caffeine pills. We thought we was doing something, just make your hair crawl.
Okay.
But what I remember though is as the years went on, you know, 16, 17, it wasn't never enough. You know, I wanted to do something more. Never messed with any other kind of drugs but alcohol and marijuana and Xanaxes up until probably the age of 21 or 22. You know?
All right, so we ain't gonna go that far. We ain't gonna go that far yet. So we got graduation Rowdy. You know, you Rowdy, you was an athlete. You know, in high school, man. You wrestled. You was a pretty good wrestler. You played baseball.
Yeah.
You know, so when you turned 18, getting ready to graduate high school, what was your plans? What did you want to do?
Well, I didn't really know at that time, but I know it's funny, man. I watched the movie Top Gun, so I decided I want to be some kind of military man. But I didn't want to fly no planes or nothing. I wanted to be one of the tougher branches. So I decided I was going into the Marine Corps.
Okay.
I was gonna fight the good fight.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I remember when you left, Rowdy, because I actually didn't join the Army until a year later. You know, so you went off to the Marine Corps. Tell our listeners what that was like.
Man, let me tell you, bro. I'm thinking, you know, I guess I wasn't really thinking about no boot camp. I was just thinking I was finna go in. I was gonna have me a Kelly McGillis, and I was gonna be riding crotch rockets and all this here. But it wasn't like that. I got off the plane and this drill instructor was standing there. And listen, he started hollering scuttlebutts and bulkheads and don't eat the skin on my chicken and I said, oh man, what in the hell did I get myself into? And I was like, no man, hey, I made a mistake. I want to go home. They're like, we will not give up on you. Yeah, you know, I will motivate you, Sweatt. You know, that's exactly what your fat butt's going to do is sweat, boy. And I'm like, oh, dude, they for real. It was, hey, listen to me. They were using words I ain't never heard of. Bulkheads, scuttlebutt, starboard. I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Moonbeams. Like, what the hell is a moonbeam? It's a flashlight. I'm like, man, bro, they were so on it though, man. And these drill instructors, man, was. And I'm gonna tell you something though, bro. I don't know what they give them guys, man, but nothing's funny. Everything's serious. And bro, I thought they was made of iron. Nothing, bro. They didn't laugh. They didn't joke. And they were so serious and so stern and so strict. And you actually like to think I was kind of tough, you know? No, man. Them dudes there, bro, broke me. They broke me. After I was in there long enough to about halfway through boot camp, they broke me. And I like to use the word brainwash. They could have told me to jump off a building, bro. I'd have jumped. Wow. Yeah, and you know, there's a reason for why they do everything. So I'm not going to knock all that, but the whole point in behind that, man, is, you know, they do what they do and they're good at it. And they had me ready, bro. I mean, and strong as an ox. I could run 3 miles in 21 minutes. I could do 20 pull-ups. I could do 80 setups in 2 minutes, man. It wasn't nothing I couldn't do. You know, great shape.
Wow, that's what's up. That's what's
up. But
the
problem was I had a young mind still. And the drinking and the stuff that I had been doing before I got there, once they cut me loose from boot camp and said, look here, you're a young Marine now, and guess what? You can drink at 18 years old on a base. I'm like, huh, okay. I done my boot camp, so now I can drink at 18. Big mistake. Big mistake for a young Marine anyway. So it led to me fighting out there because I thought, man, listen, I took off to Mexico, man. I got to fighting at the gate.
Rowdy, you went.
Hey, listen, they whooped me and took my hat. The Mexican guys done beat me up, took my hat. And the worst whooping I took was from the girlfriend. Oh. Listen, bro. I come to the gate, man. Listen, I got so much stuff out there, man. I get to the gate, and these guys are speaking in Spanish, and they were pointing at my hat. So I just did what I know to do. I hit the biggest one. Bip. That's the only lick I got. The rest of the licks was boop, 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 boop. I hit the ground, and this girl was stomping my legs with them high heel pumps she had on. I felt like she was stomping with knives, man. And the army guys run down, and they got me and saved me. And all I was worried about was my hat. I had my eyes swollen out. My legs was bleeding. I got one good lick on one of them jokers, bro. But they beat the brakes off of them.
They beat the brakes off of you.
Yeah.
Hey, that
was just some of it because I stayed drinking. What I done is what I was told not to do. Don't go over to Mexico by yourself. Take another Marine with you, if not two. What I do? No, I'm gonna go by myself. I'm Rowdy Sweatt. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And it like it cost me. You
over there drinking that cheap beer? That cheap?
Them ones with the 3 X's on it. Don't even tell you what it is. It's got 3 X's on it. and they said stay away from the mixed drinks because the water over there got E. coli in it or whatnot.
Right. All right, so we got a 19-year-old Marine, Rowdy Sweatt. You know, he's serving this country. So tell me what went wrong.
Just man, I kept on drinking, doing the stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing out there, man, and it led to the trouble with the Marine Corps to the point where I couldn't re-enlist and I couldn't. I wasn't gonna be able to, go after my 4 years. So I just decided, well, hell, if I can't, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And they ended up discharging me. I was lucky I didn't get a bad conduct or a dishonorable discharge. So I ended up just getting a general discharge under other honorable conditions, and they sent me home after 2.5 years. Well, it was like maybe 2 years. And so I got sent home. So once I got sent home, I'm home. My mind has been, whooped on, because I'm in the Marine Corps, you know what I mean? And then with the alcohol problem, Wow. And once I got home, it continued, because by then I'm 21 years old by the time I got discharged. So now I could drink at home legal.
Right.
And then I went from doing all that drinking when I got home and consistently doing the same stuff I was doing there. And it become not enough. So that's when we get up into maybe around 23 or 24, I started messing with methamphetamine.
Meth of who?
Methamphetamines.
Is that like a because I know like when you get like sinus and stuff like that, it's called I can't what it's called, but it clears your sinus. So you start taking like sinus medicine.
Well, no, what see what it was, man, is I had tried the drug and I was hearing my friends tell me, oh man, this stuff here costs this money. But if you can make it yourself, You know what I mean? And then you ain't got to spend that much money, and you can sell it, and then you can make money and still get high. So I'm like,
So
let me see how you make it.
so this wasn't no sinus. This wasn't no antihistamine. This was what you call it?
Methamphetamine.
So it's in the mean family.
Well, it's definitely a upper, but the deal in behind it is the stuff it's made out of is where you get into the problem. So I decided I ain't got the money to be buying it.
Okay.
So I want to learn how to make it. Back then you could go to Walmart with a buggy and spend $100 and come out and go make this stuff up. You had to go steal a few things, to go along with it, which we ain't gonna put the ingredients on here, and then you mix it together and shit, you might make you $3-4 grand, of money. Or you could just make you a grand or two and get high as you want to get. So I learned really quick how to manipulate that. And once I was shown, I started out just riding around with a guy, and he would cook it, and I would look out for him, and he would give me a couple $100 and a couple grams of stuff, So I'm thinking this is where it's at. But I really just want to go with him a couple times till I see what he's doing, and then I'm gonna do it myself. I didn't tell them that, but that's what I planned. And of course, I seen. And I'm getting high, and I decided I'm gonna go do it myself. Of course, I messed a few of them up, trying to figure it out. But once I figured it out, I was off and running, bro. And the guy told me, he said, "Listen, man, you don't want to learn how to do this, because when you do, you will not be able to quit until you go to jail, and that's a fact." And I said, "Man, you crazy." What happened? Exactly what he told me. 3 years to the date, I made it. Went to jail. Did my first 120 days.
So hold on, Rowdy. Hold on. Now, you pretty educated, but I don't remember you taking chemistry in school.
My dad said the same thing. He said, "Son, what, boy, did you have?" He said, "Man, why my truck smell like that, Rowdy?" And I know better to get close to him because he was gonna punch me in the nose. And I said, "What, Dad?" And so I look out in the yard, and he got the truck in the middle of the yard with all the doors open, the windows down. Mad as hell. And he said, "And why did the police take my salt shaker, Rowdy?" I said, Dad, it's some of the stuff you got to use to make." I ain't gonna go about the other stuff he had in there that they thought was something else, and he was so pissed. So from that point on, my dad, anything that belonged to my dad that would move up and down the road, preferably with a steering wheel, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get on. Lawnmower, truck, 3-wheeler, anything that you could steer and drive, I was done.
So, hold on. I think I brought my guy off too soon, but listen, man, we got somebody else from the Bootheel. Now, I didn't get a chance to meet him growing up, but Rowdy said, "Man, this is somebody you definitely got to have on this show."
Michael,
surviving the Bootheel. This man goes by. Look, when you say his name, you got to say it all at the same time.
Michael Joe Whitley.
Michael Joe Whitley from Portisville. What up with it, Michael Joe?
Oh, well, I'm laying in bed here with I got a little man with me.
Okay.
I got my little A1 since day one with me. That's my grandson Lincoln, man. I'm laying in bed here tonight, man, just chilling with my grandson at the motel.
Okay, so Michael Joe, let's introduce you to our listeners. Tell the people a little bit about yourself and where you from, and then I'm gonna have a few questions for you as well.
Oh man, I come from Southeast Missouri, man. I was born down in Hayti. Grew up small.
You were born in Hayti? I was born in Hayti.
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, I was a pretty good kid when I grew up. I was like number one in my class, man. I didn't really have to try hard for real. And I always remember being a pretty good kid and things like that. And I was pretty intelligent. I mean, my mom and them they were told by teachers that I could probably do anything, but if I wasn't raised right, I'd probably do. Ain't no telling what I'd do. I remember, man. When I got off into the drugs, man. It was early. I mean, it just started out with pot, things like that. You know what I'm saying? But man, it escalated. But I had situations arise, man. I mean, it wasn't like I was trying to go out and put 36 rims on a truck or nothing. I had a daughter, man, that 17 days old, man, about 3 in the morning, man. She went to what they call sleep apnea and things like that. Well, she was rushed from a helicopter to Hayti, my mom met me up there, and she handed me a bag of change. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was about $72 what it was, and God rest her soul, man. Rick Mullins, my mother and father, Rick Mullins and Sharon Mullins, took me and Stephanie, her mom, and we headed for Memphis, man. We got down there, dog, and I felt the necessity, man. I mean, money was low, things weren't right, and I knew something. You know what I'm saying? So I put my skills to work, and I hit Memphis. I hit it hard. I come home, and I started having to do what I had to do, man. I wasn't trying to be a drug addict, man. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like some childhood dream, man. I was going to be a drug addict and go out here and manufacture this bass and go everywhere and poison the community I lived in. That wasn't ever my intention, but that's what was going to happen for about, man, we're talking about 2 decades. This wasn't no fly by night deal, man. I was a pretty intelligent fella, man. I always had a plan, and anybody who knew me knew I had a plan.
Well, Mike, you going too fast, man.
That time that you went down that 120, Spunk might not know it, but me and Rowdy had some rough beginnings, man.
Listen, Spunky. We were 16 years old. Me and this dude met each other fighting at the Phillips 66 in Porterville when he was probably what? How old was you when I was 16, 17?
Oh, I didn't have nothing to do with y'all was talking about. We pulled up and Donnie Pettigrew was there. Yeah, him and Larry Newsom been cussing y'all and flipping y'all off. It didn't matter or something, but I just remember you and James Weston there, little Donnie. I wasn't no bigger than him. I was like, well, I want to pick on somebody your own size. Larry wasn't gonna say nothing, and nobody else gonna say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Michael Joe, the only one said something. So we went to I punched him. We went to tussling around in the Phillips 66. But the coolest thing about the whole deal was the police came, whatever, and we went down to the police station. Michael Joe didn't tell nobody nothing. He wouldn't tell on nobody. He wasn't saying nobody did nothing. I didn't get no trouble.
No,
nothing.
So
that was where my joining the outlaw side of everything really began. And I still gave, believe me, a lot of people respected that, man. But matter of fact, next day I seen a couple of cats from Marston pull up on me on Main Street. They was like, come on, my girl, I ain't getting in there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's cool, dog. James was like, no, Mikey Joe, it's cool. I promise you, bro.
So Mikey Joe.
I'm gonna tell you something, Spunk, man. I mean, I got down pretty decent, man. They say I did all right at it, but I've lived about 30 years, man. It's been probation, running, or warrants or something. Man, there's been something going on the whole time. You know what I'm saying? For 30 years, bro. It's been.
Hold on, Mike, you're going too fast. I want to know the 18-year-old Michael Joe.
The 18-year-old Michael Joe.
The 18-year-old. What? See, Rowdy, he told me the first time how he kind of got started.
You couldn't tell the 18-year-old Michael Joe nothing.
So Michael Joe, when was the first time, or when was you introduced to it? How did you come in contact with this?
I was 15 years old, and there was a man. I mean, he was the first one got busted down there. Well, my cousin and went to school, and I was only like 15. Well, he had my cousin gonna help him go out here and do this stuff, but it was a lot of labor, man. We're talking about back when there wasn't no regulations. They didn't have regulations on none of the chemicals. It wasn't nothing. This was mass things going on. So I ended up going with him at 15-year-old. I always hang out with an older crowd, you know.
Okay.
And I like to be with older people, man. All my friends were 20 years older or better. There ain't hardly any of them left, but they were always older. I went out here to this farm place, and next thing you know, I watched this thing go down. And the problem is, you can't show me something once. You know, I catch on quick.
Me too.
You show me something, you could show the wrong person. This cat goes across the Arkansas border, and we live right on the border, but they turned in interstate trafficking. They made an example of this cat. They gave him 25 years, you know. He was a loss, and I don't remember his first name, but you know what I'm saying? And this cat was on. He wasn't playing.
See, when me and him started out years ago, we learned how to make this stuff without, you know, nowadays it's a little bit easier to get things, but we had to go jump on top of anhydrous tanks and take anhydrous ammonia to go to cook this stuff we got from Walmart. It was a whole bunch of stuff that had to be done, but once you showed it, that didn't mean just because you were showed you could go buy the stuff and you could make it. You had to go stealing stuff. You had to go steal anhydrous, because they ain't gonna just go in there and say, hey, bro, I need some anhydrous so I can cook some meth here. They ain't gonna give it to you.
I always had a plan.
So
always had a plan, bro.
So let me ask this question here. How dangerous is it when you cooking that stuff?
Well, it just depends on the person behind the spoon, really.
Yeah. But put it like this, Spunky. The metal that we used in it, man, sodium metal will blow up on you. If you put any water hits that sodium, it's gonna blow up.
Of lack of, you know what I mean? Not everybody should be doing that. Nobody should be doing it, but there were some people that definitely shouldn't be doing it. They ain't got the capabilities to think about the people around them. Some people go in houses where kids live, and some people go, you know, and it was, I mean, nobody, when you're doing that, man, people with morals and stuff on drugs ain't got none. You can't expect a person that's out there to be acting like they got it put together. A clouded mind can't have no clear thought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that. I like a clouded mind can't have a clear thought.
No, ain't no way.
Okay.
Ain't no way. You know, it's hard to judge somebody now. See, you start sober, but it's hard to judge a person when they use drugs. Because after I'm talking about with methamphetamine, because I was never an opiate addict. So I can't really suffer with what the opiate addicts go through. And I know they have physical addiction, but as far as the meth addict with, it's man, it's a spiritual change. And I'm talking about you can take the greatest person in the world and you can turn him into the devil with a couple grams of dope. I mean,
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
Absolutely.
So Rowdy.
Yeah.
I can go right now and go use right now and come back and I won't be the same person that's on the screen right now.
Okay.
That's absolutely true.
So we're gonna get to that because there was an encounter that I had in the barbershop with a guy and I didn't understand it. So maybe y'all had an answer to that. But we're gonna talk about Rowdy, your first 160 days. When they put you in those cuffs and they gave you that time, what was going through your head?
Man, what was going through my head? I'm finna have to be sober for a minute. I would like to have kept getting high. I mean, for real. I mean, you know, because you know, I know now that you know, if you get a sufficient amount of misery, then you got a better chance of quitting. You know what I mean? But at the time, I was young. I didn't care nothing about quitting. I just was mad I got caught.
Michael Jones, what about you? The first time you got locked up, what was you thinking?
Man, I'll be as honest as I can with the crowd. The truth is all you see about prison is what you see on TV. So you expect it when you pull up on this big old new prison they got here in Bonne Terre, and I'm talking about it's a big prison. Got the razor wire, it's got all the effects when you pull up. Well, I pulled up with an old cat named Honky Cat Hornberg who had walked me through it, but that's cool. But when you look up there, you ain't sure what's waiting on you on the other side of that fence, man. And any man who says they went to prison the first time with their chin up and wasn't nervous and wasn't scared about what might happen to you on the inside of these walls is crazy. But what happened though after that first time was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Because prison ain't nothing like what you see on TV.
It ain't.
And prepare yourself and everything else. But the worst thing it ever did to me as a young man was it took the fear of prison away from me. After I went the first time, I wasn't scared of prison no more. So I mean, if it came down to it, there was a time I didn't care if I went to jail or not. I mean, going to the PO was next to impossible. I couldn't do a 30-day stint on probation or parole.
Really, you just learn how to be a better criminal in there.
I spent more time running from than I did on probation and parole.
You get a bunch of people in there that's doing what you've been doing, and you just share stories, and now you can learn a little bit how to better where you messed up at and how to do it better when you get out. Ain't that right, Michael Joe?
So you know how to cook it a little faster, huh?
A little better.
I might be like top rated at doing it. I don't know. They tested it. I don't know. I drove the cops crazy. I got 3 high-speed pursuits in my background. I don't look like
Michael Joe like a for real rabbit, bro.
Not
He a for real rabbit. You can't catch Michael Joe.
You can't catch him.
Man, bro, they struggle to catch that man, bro. Michael Joe always stayed about 3 steps ahead of him, bro.
Rabbit. It wasn't because I was out sleeping a bunch. It's because I ran like one. You hear them on. Hey, look, man, I had partners. They had scramble and the helicopters and everything else, and they were still having a bad time with it.
Oh wow! So
I had almost every friend I ever know go to the police station and sign statements on me.
So after your first sentence, you did your time. It's time to come home. What's your mindset?
How am I going to do this and not get caught?
Yeah.
Oh, your mind don't change. Prison don't rehabilitate. It's a daycare for adults.
It is. And I just did 120. I didn't have to go do no real time. But it's just you know, so it just dampers it for a little bit, and you're gonna come out and you're gonna do it again. You know, it's up to you to be able to want to quit, man. And you know, and if you ain't ready for it, you ain't gonna quit.
Oh yeah. But see, but a person got to go through enough misery. Look, Spunky, I lost things that. Listen, I had a daughter named Hannah Rose Whitley, that at 18-year-old Michael and 19-year-old Michael you're talking about. But see, I got married, man. I thought marriage forever. Well, I don't want to slanderize somebody's name, but I know what I saw and I know what I caught, man. And I was just a married man, and I was a certified nurse assistant trying to go to LPN school like my mom did, and branch over and get my RN license. And that's where my future was at when I was 18, 19-year-old. I wasn't thinking about trying to be no manufacturer of meth. Had my first daughter and everything else. But then my wife and me, we had a splitting apart. Well, I kept my daughter for a while, and I would go to work and I had her babysitter. Well, after her mama got her back and everything else, she's going to take her, gives her to her mom, they go, and I never see my daughter again. Well, I let the world convince me that, and I was doing it. I started doing drugs. I got heavy into them, and I was just using them then. I really wasn't getting into the big-time manufacturing of it, even though I knew how to. But, I go around partners who were just so because it was just a better deal, you know. I mean, that's go to the source. I mean, anybody knows that. But, well, I never see my daughter again, Spunk. It was 2020 it was year 2020 on November 2nd, the night of the election, that my daughter took a handgun. She took her life, bro. And at 18-year-old, my mama sent me a picture of my daughter and her. And at 18-year-old, her mom and them couldn't keep her from me no more. As a young man, I didn't realize I could do things about this. You know, I didn't have a lot of people really guiding me or anything like that. I was figuring life out as it went as a young man. And before you know it, you can get caught in that whirlwind and decades can go by. And for 8 years, what killed me after my daughter took her life, bro, was the only person that got a hold of me. I didn't talk to my mom. And it ain't even her fault. I did all kinds of, I got one of the greatest mothers in the world. And you can't do people wrong so much and use their love against them because they won't call the law on you and stuff like that. And then they don't finally get tired of you. I know what God told my mom was to let him go. But then my daughter took her life. I didn't have nobody. My daughter called me. My daughter that is alive and well today called me. And that's the only person that I've had in my life in troublesome times. It's my April day when that same baby that was sick that I started doing the mess I was doing in was the same one that would come and save me later. But then I never got to see my daughter again. So drugs will take you farther than you want to go. And they'll keep you out there longer than you want to. And they'll take things from you that you ain't willing to lose. If I knew the cost of what drugs was at the front, I'd have never paid the tab.
Amen.
Wow, man. Hey, Michael Joe, I know Rowdy tell you all the time, bro. This is like trigonometry to me.
Yeah, Spunky ain't never done no drugs. Man, I don't think I ever heard you say a cuss word, Michael Joe.
One to me, you can ask people. I was talented. I don't like to brag and glorify things, but I wouldn't put no junk out there.
Yeah. Well, I don't. It's not glorifying, but what where we at tonight, Michael Joe, is there is somebody out there who's getting ready to turn down this street.
Yeah.
There's a pair, and we're gonna talk about some of the signs or what parents need to look for. Like Rowdy said earlier, little Sally Joe ain't in her room just chilling. And just like you said, you can leave here and you can leave, go do something, come back, and you're not even the same person. So with the parents out there,
the signs are this. First off, the first sign you're going to see the fact that they're going to have extreme weight loss. That's one sign you're going to see. That's a given. If your child who usually eats and stuff like that, and you're seeing them, they're just not eating anything. That's your first sign. It's because look, dog, I don't know what's in a Funyun, but when I was on drugs, I could live off a half a Funyun for 3 days, and I'll be fine. And
yeah,
I don't know what they
days without eating.
Yeah, you go days without eating.
You drink water,
and you're gonna stay up way longer than you want to. But I mean, you're gonna notice a drastic change. The pupils go huge. I mean, they go. I mean, you almost look alien with it. I mean, you can look. It's almost like looking at soulless people.
It really, hey, bro. I was gonna say that, dude. It is. You can see right through them, bro. It's so. And I truly believe that's the devil's playground with that.
I didn't know it at the time, but when I was out cooking and manufacturing mess, I was actually committing sorcery. I mean, I was doing that. I thought I was people's friends Spunk because they was having a bad day and I'd give them some dope. You know what I mean? I mean, my heart was twisted up. I always had a pretty good heart. It just always the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I let a lot of people follow me a lot of places that were really bad, man. And I know with God, man, I could do something way better than that, man. There's a lot of people. You know, and yeah, your kids are going to show signs. But man, there's people sitting in rooms right now, grown. And a year ago, I sat in a room, man, hopeless with nothing going on, and just down, man. I'm talking about almost give plumb up to the point that I didn't want to live no more. It wasn't I wanted to kill myself. The sad part was I didn't even want to live no more. I didn't want to wake up. That's a year ago.
I got where I just didn't care whether I lived or died or nothing. They didn't make. I didn't care.
And I lost money, and I lost people, and I lost things in my life. But the truth be known is, it's the only thing that I ever kept just a little bit of. I was raised in Pentecostal churches. I was taken to see church. I was going to church 9 months before I come out the belly. You know what I'm saying? I'd have been in church 9 months before I come out. I was raised around God. I knew who God was, but I never knew who God. I never knew a God. And last year, man, I didn't have nothing but just a little faith. That's all I had left. And I had one pass left to throw. I threw a Hail Mary. I threw it as hard as I could. I didn't know if anybody was going to catch it, but I come to find out Jesus is a pretty good receiver, bro.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
top of the line. So
Yeah.
so it took. So basically, Michael Joe, what you're telling me, and then I'm gonna ask Rowdy. It was at your. Was this your first time saying, you know what? I want to quit. I need help. I need to do something. Was it your first time?
And this has been a process goes on with me, man. But listen, man, when the Bible says that a righteous man falls 7 times but gets back up, believe me, I have to keep getting back up. This ain't no easy walk. I had almost 40 years of addiction, man. Almost 40 years of a lifestyle. This was my life. This wasn't everybody I knew, everybody I hung out. I didn't even know sober people lived in this world.
Yeah.
Not in my world, they didn't.
Right.
Because if they were sober, we didn't have nothing in common. So I didn't mess with them. But I thought that everybody was high.
So Rowdy, and I'm asking you that same question. At what point early on did you say, I can't do this no more?
You know, I never really that never really happened to me. I just said, you know, I thought, you know, people wanted me to quit. I knew I probably needed to, you know, but was I willing to do it? I'll try it, you know, whatever. But these last 2 rounds, the round before this that I quit, I went to Matthew 25 house, man. I got my first taste of God, and man, it was a better high than I'd ever felt, you know, and I felt really good, and I felt that God was working through me, and He was. But what I done is, and it's not no fault to nobody where I lived, I put myself right back where I lived. And around the same people.
Where you live? Because this is the
Bootheel,
the
Marston,
Bootheel.
Missouri, Marston, Missouri, New Madrid, Missouri, Portageville. That's where I live. My family. I grew up in Marston, but my family is my sister and them is at New Madrid. My grandma's family is in Portageville, the Bootheel, that area there. And let me tell you, when I tell you that the people I know, let's just throw a number out there. I know 300 people. 289 of them get high. And so it's hard. My success rate of me not getting high, it was about maybe 0.5%. And I knew that when I went, but I thought I could handle it. Right. But it can, and it's no fault to them. And I don't dog nobody about what they do. I'm not better than nobody. I just know that I can't be around that. And here's the deal. So I put myself back in there, and I started using it again. But this last time that I cried out to God, and He snatched me up out of there again, I had this awakening, man, on the way over here, and it was so powerful, man. We don't have time to tell it tonight, but I'll tell it tomorrow. But man, it was so powerful that it took me an extra 2 hours to get over here because I got lost. I was crying so hard, and I knew when I got saved that there was a God, but I knew then that He wasn't cutting me loose, that He wasn't done with me. I thought He was. Because them voices I was hearing was telling me that He was done with me. But when He snatched me this last time, I thought, man, thank you, Lord Jesus, that You ain't done with me. Because you know what? I will not let You down this time. And man, I talk to Him every day. I pray. I want to help people. And like right now, when me and Michael Joe sitting there talking about it, and he was talking about, God, I get chills up my legs, and I know that's the Holy Spirit. Because right. He knows the message. They know the message that we're putting out tonight is going to help somebody, and that's what He wants. He wants to shine through us. And Michael Joe has been, man, bro, I've been knowing this guy for years, and watching him and his walk with God just inspires me all the more because I know he's sharp, and and a lot of the words he speaks coming from the Bible, I hang on because I know he's sharp in that. And so I lean on him in that. I don't tell him that all the time, but me and Michael Joe's got our history, and it is what it is. But I love this man, dude, and I've watched him, and I know it's inspiring to me to watch him. Just and man, and like I said, this walk I've got with God right now, dude, has been so powerful. And I just if I can say anything to the people out there tonight, it's this right here. Ain't nobody too gone that Jesus can't save you. Because I'm gonna tell you why. God used many people to get his message across, and I'm gonna tell you, he didn't use the good ones. He used killers. He used addicts. He used all the people that was sick and messed up to get his message out. He used them. Paul, he was Saul. He was murdered. He murdered Christians. God used him. So you can't say that I'm too far gone, because you're not. He's the ultimate healer. He can heal anybody. So no matter what I don't care what you've done, it don't make no difference. He loves everybody. That's just the powerful message that it is. And if he can save me, if he can save that man right there, he can save anybody. Yeah. So all this stuff we're talking about, you're never too far gone to turn to God, man. Ain't that right, Michael Joe?
It ain't over till God says it's over, man.
That's right.
It ain't over till he says it's over. And it's
right.
And people worry about their kids, man. I'm gonna tell you something. When I came here to Core 3 years ago, my daughter had been to Core for like 2 months prior to that, like the year before. And some things happened. She didn't want to stay, when people ain't ready, whatever. But when I came up to Core that year, and I'm gonna tell you something, man, it was getting caught, getting busted. The prosecutor didn't want to give me Core. I'm talking about, man, God used my enemies to bless me. They didn't send me down there to get well spawned. They sent me down there because they knew I messed it up. And they knew I would, because I ain't never did nothing but mess it up. You know what I mean? And but 2 months later, man, my daughter, I'm gonna tell you something. My daughter, that November 2nd of 2020, 1 year after that, it was actually 2 years after that, on November 2nd, my other daughter had entered into the program that I was into. And my daughter has been sober for over, almost going on like 3.5, it's over 3 years now. And she works and has a great job, has become my support system. But our kids mimic what we see. There ain't no sense in fussing at them and everything else. She was out there doing her thing and everything else. That's all she seen me do. But when she seen me do something different, she told my mom, "Have you seen my dad?" And the last thing she was going to hear, my mom said, "Yeah, he's doing good. He's at 4." My daughter started crying, and then she started calling. And we started working this process. And on November 2nd, the same date that my other daughter took her life, I watched my other kid getting hers back. And that was powerful to me. And that kid is one of the most godly women you ever seen. I'm going to tell y'all something. I've been blessed my whole life, and I never seen you. I got one of the most God-fearing mamas you could ever have in your life. Great woman. I don't think I've ever been mad at her for not giving me money for drugs. That's how sick the drugs are. I got a good woman here, don't do nothing but read this Bible. But I got a daughter that I promise you this, if that girl don't live a God-like life, and on her plaque, I noticed something that nobody ever noticed, and it gives her start date. And on every plaque you get, when you commence these programs, it gives you start and your finish date. Hers is the only one that don't have a finish date. And I told people, I said, that's because hers is ongoing. Hers don't have no finish date.
Right.
God knew what he was doing. You got to meet that kid. That kid right there, Caitlin Marie Whitley, that's a special woman. That is a special woman. She helps other addicts. She tries to do everything she can. She's into the churches and life groups. That girl is for God.
She is, man. She's wonderful. And you know something?
My daughter is me, and that's why I've been having to get in touch with my big self. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to get in touch with your big self.
Oh, I love Caitlin, man. Caitlin's helped me. Hey, I'm over here right now, over there with him, man. And Caitlin helps me to this day, man. With my man, she's been so good to me. She's helped me with when I needed it, with like some of my rent one time over here when I was struggling. She was there for me. Caitlin is wonderful, man. And I'm gonna tell you something, dude. I'm not embarrassed of nothing that I've done. I'm not embarrassed about anything that I've done or anything or worried about it because I'm not worried about that because
Caitlin listening though. If Caitlin listening, Rowdy, I'm sorry, but Spunk, hey, that girl would have stole your wallet 4 years ago.
Hey, Caitlin's been good to me. Hey, but no, what I want to say, I know that's right. What I want to say is I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done because that's what's made me that I am today. Because there's no heaven or hell that anybody can throw me in. The only person I'm worried about what's going on with me that I worry about what he thinks of me is God. So
Right.
I don't care what nobody thinks, and I'm not embarrassed to tell what I've done because it's what's made me today. You know what I mean? So I had to go through that to get to where I'm at. So if I can help anybody, you know,
Like
I
Rowdy,
want to.
that first baby, when Caitlin had that first baby and it had that chromosomes disease and it
Yeah,
died at birth and it was laying beside her in that bed, that girl had so much God. She looked at me and she said, "God's still good." After
yeah,
after her baby came out mangled, but that baby right there, that God gave me another one. God gave me another one. He took the first one, but He gave me another one.
I'm gonna
You
tell
know,
you. I went out. I came to visit Rowdy last month,
yeah.
and Rowdy said, "Spunk, we're going to church." I said, "Okay, cool, no problem." And I always like to joke and stuff. And I said, "Yeah, Rowdy finna take me to white church." I ain't really never been to white church, but
We ain't for the clown.
I'm here to tell you, standing by the door, right?
Yes.
yes,
Standing by the door ministries. That evening at church was the best church I ever been to. And I
Yeah.
say that because when my guy from Porterville, what's his name?
Richard Mullins.
Richard, that's my kid's uncle.
Okay, so Rich was a cool cat. I saw him. I just thought, he was the speaker for the night. But Richard started telling his story, man. And he said, you can look at me, but
Oh
you
no, you
can't.
talking about Richard was there, but you talking about Joey Tribb.
Trip.
Tribb,
He
yeah.
said, you can look at me, but you can't tell what I've been through. And a lot of times in church, what happens is you have the pastor who stands up in the pulpit. So he's elevated from the congregation, right? So everybody's looking up to him. And you don't know about what addictions he have. You don't know about what he's done, but what he's doing is he's telling you what you need to do, what you need to do to get close to God, what you need to do, what you need to do. And as Tripp was talking and he started telling his story, it was a eye to eye type of conversation because I know what you've been through because I've been through the same thing. I know how it is to be homeless because I've been homeless. I
Yeah.
know how it is to relapse because I've relapsed. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was so touching and I'm there and I'm like, I can feel the spirit in the room.
Yeah.
Because when it's time to pray, I'm talking about there's a young man with an oxygen tank on his nose. I'm talking
Reese.
like he's 24, 25 years old. And
Reese.
he just fell to the floor and he's praying and praying and praying. And I'm like, Rowdy, he said, man, that dude he was dead.
Yeah,
God,
he's just about to die, man. They put him on hospice, and he, man, the Lord said, dude, it is so powerful, man. Man, bro, I'm over here. I got chills all up my legs right now.
yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
y'all,
There's power in the testimony. See, the testimonies is what's missing from the church, and there's power in them. See, it's standing by the door, they got somebody giving a testimony every time. There's always a testimony because the testimony, man, them testimonies are powerful.
yes.
They see a lot of their self in a lot of people's testimonies and see a lot of hope of a way to come out. There's a lot of people don't even know there is another way. A lot of people don't even know that they can pick up a phone and there's going to be a group of people that want to help you.
Yes.
That are not ashamed of what you've done. You're the only one ashamed of what you've done.
Speaking about that, I'm over to my friend's house right now, Michelle and Kelso, dude, who's been a tremendous to me in my recovery, man. I mean, tremendous. I can't even describe it. And I'm over their house right now. Kelso, they done fed me. We done ate cabbage and sausage, and I'm on their stuff so I can get on this thing and do.
That's why your neck thick, Rowdy.
Man, bro, I done lost some weight, man. What's up?
Hey, so we're gonna recap what's going on right here today. This is Surviving the Bootheel, Peeping Through the Mini Blinds. Now that's Michael Joe Whitley's book that he's going to be coming out with soon.
I got 21 chapters wrote in a book, man. I started about a little over a year ago, man, and I spent a lot of time in a back room last year, man, and a lot. And I got one more chapter I want to write that just ain't wrote itself yet. You know what I mean? But I want it to be a message of hope, man. And I mean, we're getting close. But I got some pretty interesting chapters, man. It's just about the whole the manufacturing and the running, gunning, the policing, and it's got a lot of sadness to it too, because it's not really a happy book in the first, because man, them drugs don't lead you to some good places. And man, I was real with it. I was real with where it led me to. I ain't ashamed what drugs had me go out here and do. You know what I'm saying? But the things I lost, man, I'm talking about. I got chapters like snitches without stitches, and I gave my life to a code that nobody kept. Things like that. You know what I mean? I had a partner named Honky Cat Hornberg, one of the most solid outlaws you'll ever meet in your life. And the only saddest thing I hate for Honky Cat is he never lived a sober day. And he never got good people that actually care about you and you didn't have to pay for. And friends you didn't have to buy. And relationships you didn't have to supply everything for just to keep them around. You know what I mean?
Right.
Good people in the world, man, he never got to experience that. Not for real.
Yeah, he told me, Honky Cat told me one day, he said, man, Rowdy, he said, I was so ready to come home, but man, this just ain't how it was supposed to be, man. You know, like he was struggling, man, when he got home, because, you know, he was upset because he's thinking it was going to be this great thing. And he said, man, this ain't how it's supposed to, it ain't, you know, I feel so bad, man, because I lived right next to him. The one he's talking about, in Marston, before I came over here, he was in the camper when he come home out of jail right next door to me. And it's sad, man. He was crying to me. He said, man, bro, it ain't supposed to be like this. You know, he still got the tats and the chain on his neck, bro, still looking like the old school. When I was a kid, the old school G's, like Mike Dunn and all them, you know. And it just wasn't the same, you know. And he been pinned up all them years, you know.
Well,
yeah.
Look, the reason why I started, hold on, the reason why I started laughing, because I was thinking to myself, can I say his name?
Yeah. I don't know. Try it. Man. Hey, say it. Come on now. Hey.
Who? Oh, Honky Cat. Yeah, Honky Cat.
Oh, hey.
You can say it.
Hey, if you can't say it, just write it down.
Hey, man. Hey, you know, Honky Cat.
If you can't say it,
Hey, he
write
went
it
by
down.
that name too, bro. That's what everybody called him.
Hey, no. Hey, Spock, you got to call H-Cat.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you can't. Yeah. You being an African American brother, you can't say that. Man.
Right. Hey, when Michael Joe Whitley said his name, I said, I wonder, can I say his name? But
you got some H-Cat.
I don't want to start none, so I'm just going to
Hey,
go.
Spock, you know how us people are.
Right.
Yeah. I just now. Hey, I'm a little slow, man. I'm just not getting what y'all
Hey,
talking.
Michael Joe, riding so slow, he didn't even
Catch up. He's still back there trying to get this spoon.
Right. He's trying to get them cabbage out his neck. Hey,
Man, I'm
all right.
laughing at him, man. I'm about, man, come on.
Oh, okay.
Hey, gotta be miserable, man.
So check this out, man. Michael Joe, I want you to look into this camera, man. And I want you to pour your heart out to a person that may be going through. And what advice or what would you tell them to get them the help that they need? And I want you to look right into that camera, because what you're doing is you're looking into the heart of that person, man. Because trust me, this video here is gonna go viral, man, because y'all guys have really done an amazing job just expressing and telling your story, man.
What I would tell somebody, man, is listen, man, truthfully. I know what it's like to not feel like you're good enough. I know what it's like to live inside your own head. I know how it is to not think that you're ever going to get any better. I know how it is to have everybody around you seem not to like that you want to help you do nothing. I know what it's like to watch other people thrive in front of you while you can't get nothing done. I know what it's like to be in dark rooms where you just want to get up and all you want to do is quit and you want to die. All I can encourage somebody to do is, man, don't you quit. Don't you give up on what it is you want out of this life. There is a God, and he does love you, and I know that's a hard message for somebody who don't feel nothing right now. I just ask you one time, man. Just one time. Just if you feel like you can look up and say, God help, I promise you he will. And if you would just throw your shame and get humble and throw it to the side, you know good and well you got people that would help you. And you're just blocking yourself. The only reason you can't have the things that you say you can't have is because you say you can't have them. And if you just get up, if you'll just keep getting up, I promise you that something good will come your way. But the most dangerous thing that you got to understand is we all sowed a bad crop. And when we go out here and we sow this bad crop, we got to reap that because God's not mocked. But if you'll keep planting good seed, you're going to have to go through a bad harvest time just to get through it. And if you get through that harvest time of planting good seed while you have to reap the bad that you've done, in due time, in due season, like God said, you will reap a harvest. And things will get better. And if you'll just reach out and ask for help, but don't take your life. A lot of people take their life, and it's for mental disease crippled with drug addiction. It's one of the most dangerous things in the world. My buddy Lamar took his life not long ago. My daughter took her life. I know of many people who take their life because they don't think that there's no other way out. But before you do that, do something. Tell somebody. Don't keep that inside, and don't go through with what you're thinking about doing. That's what I tell you.
Amen.
All right, Rowdy. Rowdy, I want you to look at this mirror, man. And there are some people that you love there at that Bootheel. Those 289 people that out of the 300 you say you may know, right?
Yeah.
What message would you give to them? And tell them if they don't know, tell them about the God you serve.
Well, the God I serve, man, is the ultimate healer, man. He can take something broken and fix it. He can take anything and fix it. Nobody is too far gone. Just like I said before, you know, he doesn't use the person standing up showing how good they are or how much they know in the Bible or whatever. He takes the broken. He uses them to get the message across. God is the Alpha and the Omega. There's nothing that you and first off, he sees everything. So there ain't nothing you're gonna hide from him anyway. But if you'll just give it up and follow what he wants you to do and turn yourself over to the Lord, man, there's nothing that the possibilities are endless, man. Is it going to be easy? Probably not, because I'm gonna tell you something. God's not going to do for you what you can do for yourself. You know, if there's something he gonna make you do the work. You know what I mean? He gonna make you do the work. But and asking for things that you want, I'm almost gonna give you 100% sure he's not gonna do that neither. But if you take and you look at what you saying you want, you need, and then you just step back and let's just count the things that you already got. That you already got, and I promise you're not going to be able to stop counting. So what you got is substantial. I got a light shining on me, man. I got air I'm breathing. I got eyes to see, ears to hear. I can walk out this door and go get in the car that Jesus let me have. I got a house I go over there and lay down and got a pillow I can lay on that Jesus let me lay on with a heating and air in it. I got a bathtub I can take and run some water over me. It don't matter who paid the bill. Jesus allowed me to make the money to pay the bill. So if you really count on what he's already done for you, it's substantial. So if he's already done all that, you serving somebody that's more powerful than anything you can imagine, man. Just don't give up, and don't give up. And man, God is the way. Jesus Christ saved my life, man, and it can save yours too. Trust me, I'm a living testament to it.
That's it. So listen, man, we're surviving. You know, this is surviving the Bootheel, peeking through the many blinds, and this is something that me and Rowdy we talked about, and you know, because I'm telling you, I'm Rowdy's #1 fan because from childhood I've had nothing but love for this guy. Yeah. I mean, we fought. We probably called each other names. I call him the H word. He called me the N word.
We got to fighting.
Yeah, we got to fighting. You know, all that stuff there. But the love, a person who never forgets. You know what I mean? When I went back to the Bootheel, I'm always looking for Rowdy because Rowdy would always say, "Man, Spunky, I'm so proud of you." And man, Spunky, I'm not what I should be, but I'm trying. And I'm his biggest fan. So anytime Rowdy goes through what he goes through, he can always count on me.
Yeah.
And we talked about this because it's so important right now, because people are going through so many trials and tribulation in life. They're losing their jobs, they're losing all type of things. So the easiest thing to turn to is drugs or something like that. So this is a platform that I want to keep going, man. And Rowdy, I want you to be my co-host with it, man, because
Yeah.
I know you're around a lot of people who have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And as I was putting out this ad for this show tonight, I started seeing people, and as I clicked on it, I saw one person that had 11 years sobriety. You know what I mean? So I would like to get that person on to give a different perspective of what they went through. You know what I mean? Michael Joe, man, I really appreciate you joining us tonight, man. Anything I can help you to do to get that book out, man, let me know, bro. We definitely gonna have you back on the show, because bro, you're funny, man. Boy, you got me over here crying, right? I don't know if it's that.
I'm trying my best not to cry right now. You ain't finna do it to me.
Yeah, but you know, we thank everybody for tuning in tonight to this first episode of Surviving the Bootheel. Please share this on this platform and all the other platforms, because this is something that somebody needs to hear. There's a parent out here that needs to know that your child ain't losing weight because they jogging, or your child ain't eating because they want to lose weight. There's something to it. And once again,
It's life or death. It's life or death right now.
yeah. And as Rowdy said, as Michael Joe said, you know, God is gonna bless you with things because he believes that you're going to be a blessing to others, right?
Yeah.
God has blessed me because I'm not going to be selfish with his blessings. I'm going to open up platforms and tell people about his goodness. And we have Rowdy on here, we have Michael Joe on here to through whatever they went through. See, understand what I'm saying? It's the through.
Yeah.
It's the through. That means you come in one way, you come out another way. It's the through. So whatever you going through, if it's dark on the front side, there's sunshine on the back side, because it's a process. You know, thank you guys tonight, man. Any closing words? Hey, the floor is yours, and then we're gonna close this thing out, and we'll close it out with a prayer, because I know that's how they do it at standing by the door.
Yeah. You want me to pray us out, Michael Joe? All right. Oh, Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and just thank you for letting us have this platform that we can try to reach people. We just want to just love you, and just your grace is so good that we just can't even fathom it. And I just hope that maybe this has touched somebody's heart, maybe educated a parent, and just basically done anything that you wanted done with this God. Please, thank you so much. We love you. You're the greatest. In Jesus' name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Hey, until next time, listen, stay tuned. Make sure you follow Michael Whitley. Make sure you follow. Listen, y'all got to help Rowdy get his followers up. So make sure y'all follow Danny Sweatt so he can be on his own platform.
Yeah, I'm so gangster, bro. I had to go on somebody else's deal, man. I won't even let me have my own stuff on TikTok, man. I'm on Osiris and Rod. Them's two cats.
Right.
My partner's got cats.
Hey, make sure y'all follow me, man. Stay tuned. Hey, make sure you go click on the link and listen to Rowdy's song, Rowdy's Back, and be on the lookout for Michael Joe Whitley's song. We're getting ready to drop it, man. The Bootheel Bandit, Michael Joe Whitley. Until next time, peace. Salute. Y'all know what it is. At ease.
All right. Yeah, that was great.